Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Arvin's got a new police chief, and he's a familiar face, at least across the county. We'll introduce you and hear from him live in studio about what he hopes to accomplish.
We indeed are our brother's keeper, and we look forward to uniting as mayors to create a better California for all people.
Mayor Karen Go in the state capitol to talk about our county's homelessness epidemic. We'll tell you what came out of the meeting just ahead.
And as we face growing numbers of those without shelter or food, perhaps there's never been a better reason to help fill the shelves for the Golden Empire Gleaners Food Bank. We'll tell you how you can help. This is Thursday, March 21st, 2019. Good morning. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Tabitha Mills and Kevin Schredt. Yeah, this is coming at a great time. Our community needs it.
Yeah, and, yesterday we were talking about the rain and it moving into the area, and we definitely saw it. Some areas saw a lot more than others, and we talked about a lot of times these storms come in, we see pockets of showers, and we definitely did see that. So let's get right to it and talk about what we can expect for today, and there's still a chance of some lingering showers out there. We're at 50 degrees right now, just a light wind out of the east at 3 miles per hour for you right now. And here's a look at the satellite and radar. We did see a little bit of clearing overnight as well. A few showers still well off to the west that we'll be watching for throughout the morning hours. And here's a look at our Futurecast HD model, and it does bring in some light showers, but the bulk of this looks like it's going to be traveling to the south. So as we go throughout the morning, the Frazier Park Pine Mountain Club area and over the I-5 Grapevine could see a little bit more rain than all other areas. So here's a look at the hour by hour. I just have a 20% chance in there by 7 a.m. Upper 40s to start, and then some clouds throughout the day and the 60s. And then for the mountains, we'll start out in the 30s. A slight chance of a shower there, and then throughout the afternoon, looking at some clouds and temperatures today only in the upper 40s.
Well, a mystery in Oildale. The Kern County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting with a lot of bullet casings but no victim. The shooting happened just before 7 last night on Moneta Avenue, just off Chester Avenue. Witnesses tell 17 News it was a car-to-car shooting with people in two cars firing at one another. They say it sounded like fireworks, but when deputies arrived, they didn't find any victims.
A Bakersfield man accused of drugging and raping a girl in Bakersfield is on the run. Jeffrey Brent Firkins. He was arrested last week and booked on several heinous sex crimes, but the DA's office rejected the case. BPD quickly resubmitted and got a new arrest warrant. Now Firkins is nowhere to be found. Police say Firkins is wanted for several felony sex crimes involving rape of a minor. We interviewed Firkins in 2016 about a new rock wall in town. Firkins has been known to work as a rock climbing instructor at multiple facilities throughout Kern County. If you have any information on his whereabouts, call BPD at 327-7111 or Secret Witness at 322-4040.
McFarland's police chief just got a new job on the other side of the county. The city of Arvin announced yesterday it hired Scott Kimball to be its new police chief. Chief Kimball has led McFarland's police department since 2015. He'll be replacing Jerry Breckenridge, who became Arvin's city manager.
Now we're continuing our coverage on the state of homelessness here in Kern County. With new numbers on how many people are living on the streets, homeless advocates are working to help. Back in January, 1,330 people were counted as homeless during the point-in-time count. That's up nearly 50% from the count last year. And right now, the Bakersfield Homeless Center and other shelters are at 96% capacity. But its director says the center remains committed to helping as many people as possible.
We are working very hard to help anyone that walks up. Folks need to know is that we are utilizing everything that we have.
The center is planning to add 40 beds for women. The mission at Kern County is also taking steps to help the homeless population. It plans to renovate a building into a community resource center for those living on the streets. It's also worth noting the Oversight Committee in charge of Measure N is in the process of making recommendations to city leaders about how to tackle the homelessness crisis. One of the proposals they'll consider from the city manager is a new homeless rapid response team for the city's Parks Department.
And Bakersfield Mayor Karen Go joined other California big city mayors in talking with Governor Gavin Newsom about how to tackle the state's homeless problem. The governor is promising to throw a lot of money, nearly $1.7 billion, at the state's ongoing homeless problem. And he's planning to punish cities that don't comply with his vision. Part of the money will go towards the homeless emergency Aid Program, otherwise known as HEAP. The program helps communities pay for emergency shelters and long-term housing projects. 17's Sacramento Bureau reporter Ashley Zavala caught up with the Bakersfield Mayor, Karen Go, about how the funds would help the city.
We're looking forward in Bakersfield, because of the funding, to be able to expand our shelter bed spaces, emergency shelter beds, also to create a navigation center, and then increase services for our homeless population, going into permanent housing, temporary housing, but all of that. It takes all of those services because it's a very complex issue.
The governor says cities that don't comply with housing goals may be punished by having gas tax dollars for road repairs withheld. Newsom has received criticism for his hardline approach, but many of the mayors remain in support of his tough stance.
Well, there's going to be some road work tonight at the West Side Parkway in Bakersfield. This is part of the Kern River Bridge Improvements Project. Crews plan to realign the concrete barrier on the Truxton Avenue off-ramp. That work will close the ramp from 9 tonight to 5 tomorrow morning. Officials say no closures are planned for the rest of the road, but anyone going east on the parkway will have to get off at Mohawk Street.
The state water project allocation is getting a big boost this coming year. The State Department of Water Resources announced the allocation is doubling from 35% to 70% for most state water contractors. The department transfers state water to 29 contractors, including the Kern County Water Agency. The increase comes from above average rainfall last month. The Kern County Water Agency says the 70% allocation represents an additional 350,000 acre-feet of water for a total of 700,000 acre-feet for Kern County. The 2019 water year starts October 1.
The second annual Catholic Prayer Breakfast is about to get underway this morning. The breakfast is modeled after the Los Angeles Diocese, designed to bring Catholics throughout Kern County together to pray, celebrate, and grow in faith. The breakfast begins with a rosary at 6, followed by Mass at 6:30. Then there will be a breakfast keynote address by Archbishop Salvador Cordelone of the San Francisco Diocese. It's all happening at St. Francis Church on 8th Street. Last year, some 600 parishioners turned out for the breakfast and prayer. And we are once again teaming up with the Golden Empire Gleaners for our annual food drive. This is a look at last year's drive where people donated hundreds of pounds of food. The Gleaners takes produce that would have been thrown out otherwise for not meeting cosmetic standards of markets and distributes that food to local families in need. But the Gleaners also rely on community donations. The food drive will take place next Wednesday on the corner of 22nd and M Streets, just outside of our studio here in downtown Bakersfield. We're asking for non-perishable food items plus cash or check donations. It's all happening from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. So you have all day to come on out and check it out and donate. A Kern County doctor's medical license is on the line. The state medical board is looking into complaints about medical care from several patients who were inmates at a state prison. The complaint was filed at the beginning of this month against a Bakersfield doctor. Court documents state Dr. Jonathan Emeka Akano, a physician and surgeon, committed gross negligence and incompetence. Documents state that Dr. Akano consulted with 5 patients from a California state prison and failed to perform and or document an adequate history and physical assessment of all 5 inmates. 17 News has reached out to the doctor for comment, but we have not heard back.
They say laughter is the best medicine, but dancing doesn't hurt either. The Kern Dance Alliance will host 2 dance movement therapy sessions this spring. These sessions are for cancer patients and survivors, as well as people with impaired memories. These are free 7-week programs to help people heal and express themselves through movement. Enrollment is open now through April 1st. All you have to do is head to kerndance.org to learn how to sign up for free.
Spring is officially here, which means blooming trees and flowers. And while the sight is beautiful, it can also mean misery for those suffering from seasonal allergies. So here are some tips to help you through the next couple of months. I'm taking note myself. Experts at the Mayo Clinic suggest staying indoors when the pollen counts are high and let other people do the yard work. And while it may be tempting to have the windows open, you're better off running the air conditioning. It's also important to change your air filter. Finally, try showering in the evening so you can avoid tracking pollen into bed. I think about that also. Like, we were out at the fairgrounds all day Saturday, and I came home. It's like, okay, get these clothes off because they're covered in whatever I'm allergic to right now.
I don't think there's any escaping it for me. I'm just going to have all of the
And we've lived here all our lives, which is what's, so crazy about that.
Yep.
Local entrepreneurs have the opportunity to meet and mingle today at a business expo in Northwest Bakersfield. The North of the River Chamber of Commerce is putting on its 4th annual Business Expo from 4:30 to 7 this afternoon. It's happening at the Holiday Inn and Suites on Marriott Drive. The chamber says visitors can get prizes at the door, network with others, and mingle with vendors in a scavenger hunt. Plus, it's all free. It's time to choose your favorite flavor or maybe mix it up with 2 or 3. Snow Shack season is here. Snow Shack Bakersfield's planning opening day event Saturday. Starting at noon, customers will get a chance to snag free snow cones and other tasty giveaways. But the giveaways are only happening at 3 Snow Shack locations. We've posted a list of which locations are participating on our website, KGET.com. Applebee's is kicking off a month-long fundraiser to help athletes who play despite their disabilities. The League of Dreams is a Bakersfield sports league dedicated specifically to those athletes. The fundraiser will cover costs for uniforms and equipment for the league. Through March 31st, Applebee's will donate 15% of your check when you mention the League of Dreams. You can even donate more if you'd like. The fundraiser is happening at the Applebee's at the Marketplace on Ming Avenue. Spring is here and many drivers across the country are seeing an increase in prices at the pump. There are a few reasons for the price surge. People are on the road more now that the weather's nicer, and refinery capacity is also an issue. Plus, there's a switch from winter to summer blend. Here in Bakersfield, Gas Buddy reports a gallon of regular will cost you $3.29. That's less than the average in Los Angeles, $3.43. Across California, drivers are paying an average of $3.40 for a gallon of regular gas. Pickup trucks, once primarily used as work vehicles, are now family vehicles. If you're in the market for a new pickup and are looking for the safest models available, there are some new recommendations from a highway safety organization. NBC's Dan Sheneman reports.
Pickup trucks are popular, but are they as safe as they should be? The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says some should be safer.
We were disappointed by the results.
11 models of pickups, large and small, were tested by the Institute. The goal, determine how much protection the vehicles offer front seat passengers.
It's the kind of thing that might happen if a driver unsuccessfully tried to avoid a frontal crash with another vehicle.
The findings, a couple of models did well.
The Ford F-150, the Ram 1500, the Nissan Titan are all rated good in this test.
As for some of the other models, there's room for improvement.
So the worst performer is the Toyota Tundra. But we also have less than good performances from the Nissan Frontier and both the large and small versions of the Chevrolet GMC pickup trucks.
The Institute says only one model made their list of top safety picks.
Best overall pickup among the 11 here is the Honda Ridgeline because it's got pretty good performance in the right side overlap test, good performance in all the other tests.
Something to consider, with more families using trucks to carry the kids rather than cargo. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
Thanks for listening to the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's a 15-minute summary of everything you need to know about Kern County. There's a new episode every weekday.